This is Capital on Stage, the Amsterdam edition. It's time to meet the investors. Please give a warm applause for Michiel Kotting, Accel Partners.
Thank you so much. And first of all, a big thank you to Arjen for organizing Capital on Stage and having me back here. Last time it was an instant success. It brought me celebrity. The only problem is I cannot repeat any of the jokes I made last time. So it was a big challenge to come up with a new story. Secondly, I'm really glad Capital on Stage is back in Amsterdam after 4 years, because I have a very strong belief that the Amsterdam ecosystem is finally picking up and taking its place amongst Berlin, London, and Stockholm and Tel Aviv to be one of the leading places in Europe to start tech companies. As a founder of the Dutch tech mafia, I've always been really passionate about the case. Welcome to you all. I think this is an amazing time to be both an entrepreneur and a VC in the tech space, because on all dimensions, whether it's cloud, mobile, Bitcoin, there's innovation, there's acceleration, and the companies that are being built today are 10 times bigger than the companies that were built a generation ago. So I wanted to speak to you briefly a little bit about Accel, a little bit about me, and then pose you a challenge. To start with, the mission of Accel is actually very simple. We want to be the defining investor in the best entrepreneurs who build globally changing businesses. And that sounds really simple, but unfortunately it's not. And let me tell you, kind of try to give you first my perspective and then tell you what it means for you. So for me, it basically means, I don't know if you know the famous saying by Newton, where it says we can see further because we're dwarfs standing on the shoulders of giants. For me, it means I go to work every day and I sit next to the guy who found and helped develop Facebook. Next to him is the guy who did that for Dropbox, for Supercell. And I'm just sent out in the world with a very simple mission: go find a company that can do better than those. So you see, my days are very easy, and I hope with Karawiki, our first investment in the Netherlands, I finally have found that. Secondly, we are really a global platform, and it means for us European team, I'm trying to find the best opportunities anywhere in Europe where they can develop. Before it was very simple, in the valley, everything used to be in a circle of 20 kilometers around Stanford campus, but now everywhere innovation is happening. Whether I go to Tel Aviv one day or to Vilnius the other day, that's where we go dig. It sounds really glamorous, but when I got up at 4:30 this morning just to be here for the presentation, it didn't feel as glamorous. And then finally, we're looking at winners in any kind of tech sector. And that means that on a single day in the morning, I'm talking to people who have a very novel approach for security for containers of the data center kind. And in the afternoon, I talk to people who want to disrupt global banking through the blockchain. And in the afternoon, I'm talking to people who are setting up a network to do something about food waste. And it's extremely exciting, but it's also very intellectually challenging. And this is by far the hardest thing I've done in my life. And I have a master's in physics, and I started an artificial intelligence company, and that was all simple compared to this. But more importantly, what does this mean for you? We're the only early stage investor with global presence. So we have offices in the US, in India, and in Europe, and we're helping you with your big dream and ambition to scale globally. Secondly, we've been around for a long time. So we've done 175 IPOs and a similar number of exits to the big tech giants. And we know that success is not a straight line. So we will stick with you through thick and thin. And so what I say to any entrepreneur we plan to invest in, please do your background check on us and talk to the people who we've served on the boards of, and not only the successful companies, but the ones that went down, and get a sense of how we are in hard times. Thirdly, we have a very large portfolio of very exciting companies, and we are very happy to open them up for you and make sure you benefit to the maximum. We're only asking for one thing, is that you do the same thing for your sister companies, and so that way we really all grow stronger together. And then the final thing is, unfortunately, we're very selective, and it means that I get to say no all the time. And when I was an entrepreneur, I got turned down 100 times, but I have to do that all day long. But it also means I'm only on 5 boards, so I can really roll up my sleeve and help the guys that we invest in. Okay, thank you.